I am in love with today's project. It's not super simple, but it is a ton of fun. Welcome back to Silhouette Success. For those of you that are new around here, welcome. I'm Brenda Lambert. I'm a TJC licensed instructor for Silhouette, and I hope that you're going to join our little crafting community. We would absolutely love to have you. Today we are going to take a shadow box and turn it into some light up wall decor. And if everyone is ready, let's do this. Okay, in Silhouette Studio, we are going to use this design here. I've downloaded it from Creative Fabrica, and I will put a link in the description box as always. We're going to go up to our page setup and make sure everything is right there. I've selected my Cameo 4. 12 by 12 matte, and 12 by 12 media size. I'm not altering this design in any way, so I'm just going to pull it onto the mat, and this is the size that I would like to cut at. However, you can see that it's a little bit big here. So what I'm going to do is bring up the bounding box, grab this little green circle, and start rotating it until it looks like it fits better. Now you can see at the top that just the tip of the stars are outside of the cut border, so I'm going to shrink it down just ever so slightly. Now it fits in there, and it should still look good on my shadow box. I'm going to use this button here to zoom into the bottom. It looks like that might be over the cut line. It's actually like right on the cut line, so I'm going to shrink that up just a little bit too. Let's zoom back out. Can head over to the send panel now. I don't have my machine connected yet, but I am going to go ahead and use vinyl Silhouette Oracle 651. And before I send it to cut, I will probably bump my blade up by 1. Okay, today, unfortunately, I am kind of working with a mishmash of materials. I thought I had what I needed, and every time I pulled something out to use it, it was just shy of what I had to have to get this completed. So we'll have to just run with what we could get at Michael's. But I am going to be using the shadow box from Michael's. All this is from Michael's except for the lights I got at Walmart. So this is Cricut permanent frosted vinyl. It's going to give an etched look to the front glass. And I have this Make Market holographic vinyl. I've used this before. It's absolutely beautiful, but I'm going to, and this is kind of experimental, I'm going to put it on the back layer of the shadow box to try to reflect some of the light. I'm doing the design in just a basic soft gray. That is Oracle 651. And then I'm using this light set. I got it at Walmart. It was, I think, $4.98. So not too expensive. We'll see how all of this goes. I'm going to flip the shadow box over and just take it apart. Need to get to the insides. I'm going to pop the glass out carefully. And we're going to go ahead and get that cleaned up. That will probably require a little more touch-up, but I think that's okay for now. First thing we're going to start with is our frosted vinyl. It's kind of hard to show with this being clear glass. It'll be a little bit easier once we get the frosted vinyl on there, I do believe. I'm not going to put this through the machine. I'm just going to get it on there and then trim it. Okay, I've marked the edge of the glass, and I'm going to cut just slightly longer on the line. The edges of the glass will be covered by the corners of the shadow box, so this does not have to be perfectly exact. We have a little bit of wiggle room. Now, since this is a large area and I don't want any bubbles in there, I'm going to take just a little bit of water and a little dab of soap in there. And I am going to just wet the front side of the glass here. Make sure that it's all wet. And this is going to allow us to get rid of any bubbles that get trapped when we set the vinyl down. And it's also going to allow us to pick it up and set it back down if we don't get it on there properly the first time. Okay, I'm just going to expose the edge, fold back the backing. That's going to help us get it in place a little bit better. And you can use window cling for this as well. We're just trying to soften the light that's going to come through here. Now the frosted vinyl is down on the glass, but I can easily lift it because I put that little bit of water and just soap down. You can see all these bubbles in here. Just want to take a scraper. I think the large one is better suited for this, and I actually missed the edge up over here, so I'm going to reposition it. Now you can see here that I did not get that area wet, and it is stuck. So let's unstick it and put a little bit more water down there. Okay. So now let's get the vinyl to where it's covering the entire piece of glass. There we go. That looks better. Now you want to start from around the middle and push all of that out to the edge. You're pushing the air and the extra water out. Okay, now the glass has a frosted look to it. I'm just flipping it over. And I'm going to just wipe along the edge here and get rid of some of that water that I pushed out. And then we're going to set this aside and let it dry while we work on the rest of it. The next thing we're going to do is take our holographic vinyl and cover the back of the shadow box. Again, I am not going to put this through the machine. It's a simple cut. I just need to measure it out and cut a straight line. Place the back on top of the vinyl, square it up. This part, again, does not need to be exact. The edges are going to be covered up by the shadow box itself, but we want to get it kind of close. Go ahead and mark my lines. And I'm going to cut this just slightly smaller than what I marked. Fold that back, get it set in place. I am going to take just a second. We're going to go over this with our lint roller before we put that down. We're using permanent vinyl on a cloth surface. It's kind of a canvas here, and it will stick. It will stick much better if it's not full of dust and lint. Now you're not really going to be able to see too much of this. It is mostly just to reflect some of the light back towards the glass. I was looking for just silver, but there was none in store, so we went with this because I can always find a project to use this on. It is absolutely gorgeous. I used it on a glass water bottle in a different video, and I'll link that in the description as well if you want to take a look. Okay, we're going to bring our glass panel back in. I'm going to flip it over and trim the extra vinyl away. Now we have one perfectly frosted piece of glass. Love it. I'm going to keep the frosted vinyl to the inside of the shadow box. Here is our light set. Not bad for $5. It even comes with a cute little remote. Awesome. You do need your own USB block. Now, on the back side of these lights, you have the sticky tape. Leave that backing on for right now till we get them situated. We want these towards the back of the shadow box, so we're going to put the extra frame back in there now, and we can judge where we want them to go. You want the extra wires outside of the shadow box, and we may have to make a small hole in the backing. I don't know if it'll fit through there yet or not. So we're going to have to place this just on the inside of that frame so that the backing will go in. These go around the corners pretty well. Just smush it in as much as you can in the corner. Now when you get to the last corner, you want to look for the closest cut line here. I'm going to say it's this one. If I go here, it's going to be just a little bit shy, and that'll leave that corner dark. Now all that's left to do is take this end here, figure out which way it actually connects. There we go. The remote comes with batteries. You just pull the tab out. And there we go. Lights are working. It has a dimmer on it. And you can brighten them, dim them, soft, warm, all kinds of cool things on here. You can change the colors as well. I love these little light sets. They are perfect. Okay, enough playing. I'm going to disconnect these for right this minute. Now we need to be able to work on getting all of the wires in place and a hole for them to come out of. Actually, I think that is perfect. We can get it to come right out the edge here, except that we want this at the bottom, so our hanging tab needs to be the other way around. So let's flip this like so. Make sure your wires aren't crimped in there. And we can close this back up. I think that is super cute right now. The frosted glass has dimmed the lights quite a bit, so it won't be glaring. And now all we need to do is put the adorable decal on the front, and this will be all set. So let's get to cutting that decal out. I decided to go with a soft gray vinyl for the decal so that this could be for either a boy or a girl's room. And you can set the lights to whatever color you want behind it so that it's not going to be blah. It'll match the room perfectly, whatever decor is in there. We're going to cut off a 12 by 12 piece. Let's check the cut, see how it did. That looks like it's going to weed beautifully. We can unload the machine. Let's get this weeded. I'm going to cut these extra parts off so they don't get stuck to the design. Just makes things a little bit easier. It's honestly the color changing lights for me. They add so much to this little project. I cannot believe how well this turned out. It turned out so good, in fact, that I had to make one for myself. This one will be hanging in my office. Now, if you are in the mood to learn a bit more about Silhouette Studio, you're going to want to check out this video here. And if you are done with YouTube for the day, go create something amazing. I'll see you in the next video.